Good afternoon. I'm Gary Deal, President of G&G Fleet Service and Fleet Supply. We're here today at Orlando East. The topic of today's video is the replacement of the TruGreen reels on the TruGreen trucks. Specifically today we're looking at the Rhino and some of the reels and the issues that we have with those. One of the biggest problems we have is the availability of parts and replacement reels. That's always been a problem for us to be able to get the replacement parts, so much so that we have designed and made our own reel assembly that meets our quality standards for G&G. We'll show you that in a moment, but the one that we're looking at today is a top reel on a Rhino that has been out of service for a period of time. You'll see that the injection line has been pulled off. They tried to run it on with a FERT line for a period of time. But what happens when the spindle breaks, and if you take a look in, you can see angled downward. That means that it has broken inside and the reel has dropped, and that allows it to spin on the spindle and twist the hose and pull the hose off the barb or break the barb itself. We'll see that when we remove the hose and take a look, but this is an indicator that we've got a serious problem. And the other is that the chain will not stay on when it's like this, so your driver, when he's trying to be productive in the field, spends most of his time putting the chain back on the reel because it will not track or stay on. So at this point in time, what we're going to do is we're going to remove the hose, or strip the hose from the reel, and then we'll show you the conditions inside the reel and how we're going to replace this, remove it and replace it with a G&G manufactured reel. Okay, now I'd like to show you the G&G fabricated reel. This reel assembly is the same reel that works on the Rhino, will also work on the inner city trucks as well as the lawn sharks. And I'd like to point out a few of the features and improvements on this compared to the reels that are currently on the trucks. You'll notice that this reel is made entirely out of stainless steel. The outer plates are 1/8 inch stainless. The inner plates are also stainless. The rods that hold it, that hold the assembly together, are also stainless steel. The drum, which if you've worked on the Rhinos and worked on these trucks, you'll know that they're made out of sheet steel on the standard issue reels that are spot welded together on the seam. It doesn't take much for the spot welds to break and for the reels to come apart. We've done away with that. We've eliminated that problem, that issue, by using a poly reel drum that has an 8,000 pound crush limit. In other words, it's indestructible. What that allows us to do is not only replace that problem area or problem issue of the spot welded steel drum, but it also allows us to open up and make the openings larger so you can put your hand in to work on it, to put the fittings in and get the clamps on. If you've tried to do it on the standard reel, you'll know that you can't quite get your hand in, and then you can't quite get the socket on there to tighten the nut. So it's a struggle at best. Another feature that I want to point out on this that you'll see that's a major improvement, that's a performance improvement with our reel that solves an issue or a problem that you definitely are having with your standard reels. And that is the leader hose and the way the leader hose is installed on the reel and what happens to the leader hose after it's on the reel and exposed on the outside. Typically it goes in like so, actually like so, and the hose is fed across and placed on one fitting, and then it's bent completely around to come back and go on the fitting on this side. In order to get it on both fittings, it's twisted, and it now takes up additional space that on the standard reel that you need to get your hand in there so that you can work on it. The biggest problem that you have with it, so that makes it difficult to work on, but the real problem with that we addressed is that when you put this hose on the reel and you wrap it, and you wrap this hose, you wind up your dual line hose. It's very heavy, very stiff hose. It flattens out. If you do this when the pumps are not running, it compresses and flattens the leader hose. The leader hose will take a set, it will flatten out, and it will stay flattened out. And over time, it will become flat and restricted. So you don't know it, particularly if you don't pull all the hose off the reel, you don't know that that's happening. But the flow of matter to the reel and through to the gun is restricted, as well as the FERT. So you find yourself cranking the regulator up to get the flow that you need, because you don't know or you're not aware that the leader hose has been flattened out. So we've eliminated that, and the way we did that with this design, with our drum, with the 8,000 pound crush limit drum, we can now bring the leader hose in from the center, like so, and we can bring the hoses off to the sides. But we do this with the dual line hose. The leader hose will be eliminated. You'll see that when we do the install, that the leader hose is no longer required on the reel itself. The only leader hose that you will see is from the dual line hose to the gun. So we replace the leader hose with the dual line hose, comes straight into the reel, splits, and goes off to each barb, both to the matter as well as the FERT. Major improvements. This reel is made so that it interchanges with, it can be the parts, the component parts will interchange with the lawn shark, the plates. We have plates that will interchange. We have drums that are custom made. We have the rods that are made so that we have these kits for the lawn shark. Also, on the lawn shark, a serious issue with them is the pulley setups that drive, the belt and pulley that drives the lawn shark reels. The pulleys fail, the belts fail. You can, with this setup that we have here, you can replace those pulleys with a stainless steel sprocket, not a stamp sprocket, a stainless steel machine sprocket and spacers that will go right on the lawn shark. And it allows you to put a sprocket on your reel motor and a chain and drive your reel with a sprocket and chain and eliminate that pulley and belt. Major improvements on this. Everything on this reel is stainless steel. It's not going to rust, it's not going to corrode. Stainless steel and a poly drum. We're very proud of it. We're going to do this install on a Rhino. We're going to finish the video and show you how this installs and how easy it goes on a Rhino. You can buy the reel completely assembled. It takes minutes to install it, and we have them in stock. Hi, I'm back again. Wanted to show you one of the other products that we make, that we've designed and made for our reels, replacement spindles, and we make them for the lawn sharks as well as the rhinos. And that our reel kit, the spindle kit, comes with the completely machined and threaded spindle, as well as the lock washer and lock nut, that once you get this thing cranked in there, you don't have to worry about it coming loose. The old star washer style that originally came with the reels were famous for coming loose and allowing the reel to fall apart. So we have this, and you'll find this at G&G Fleet Supply. Okay, we got the reel out of the Rhino, and got the hose off of it. I want to show you what we were talking about when I told you about the spot welded drum and the problems that you run into with them coming loose. You'll note that the spot weld has come loose all the way across the seam on the drum, and what that does is allows the drum to flex and bend in. The other issue was when we opened this up, the nut was loose, and this is the star washer that they come through with standard. This is one of the biggest reasons why your reels come loose and come apart. The star washer crushes the first time you use it. If you don't replace it with a new washer or a new lock washer, you're not going to be able to keep the nut on. As with this reel, these plates the inner plates have a flat spot. It's a D circle, and that flat spot is all that keeps the spindle from spinning inside the reel and twisting the hose. And with this, both of them have spun out and are round and no longer have the Ds. So this is a major improvement. We have our 8,000 pound crush strength tube on our reel being installed in just a few minutes, and we'll give you some video of that. We'll show you once that's installed and in place, how it looks and how it sets up and how rigid it is. Okay, we've completed the installation on the reel, and we're about to install the dual line hose on the reel, you'll note that we've got the hose set up on our hose installation kit. We offer that. If you've ever had to put one of the hoses on yourself, untangle it and drag it out 400 feet so you can get it on straight, you'll appreciate this tool. We have those available on G&G Fleet Supply. If you want to come up, we'll take a look at the reel, and I'll show you what we've done and how we've prepared it to be installed. Looking at the drum, you can see the dual line hose goes in through the drum and connects directly. There is no leader hose required with this. By going into the center, it allows the hose to go in smoothly and straight onto the barb fittings without restricting the openings going to the fittings. If you have to remove a fitting or work on it, you can without a problem. Your hands fit nicely. We have the hose going through a retaining strap. If the technician pulls the hose all the way off when he's pulling it across the lawn and goes out to the end of the hose, it will not snap the fittings off. The load is on that bracket, and you cannot break the hose or puncture the hose. So now we're going to go ahead and reel the dual line hose on and then prepare the leader hose and gun to complete the job. Okay, we've just completed the installation of the new reel, installed the 400 feet of dual line hose. Everything checks out great.